What's up, y'all? Jason here, representing Raptor Reptiles, and today I'm bringing you guys a video on how to build a Mondo Raptor tank. So everyone keeps hitting me up, so they want to know pretty much how to make these melamine enclosures with the light fixtures and everything, and the glass and the sliding tracks. So got a couple tanks that I want to build just because we got a bunch of babies hatching. I want like a nice big tank for my holdbacks, and then I'm just going to build an extra one just to free up some space so I have it as extra. So I hope this video is going to help. A lot of requests on it, so make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, share it, put it out there so everyone can see. It's really not that hard. It seems like more work than really what it is. So if you're a little bit, you know, mechanically inclined, or you're good at woodworking, it's easy. So basically, this is what I did since I build so many, and Home Depot just doesn't make the cuts good. I went out and bought myself a Craftsman table saw here. So I'm not going to show me cutting the wood. I mean, that's self-explanatory. It's going to take too long, but this is a really nice table saw. Sears seems to be going out of business, so I got this for a steal. It's $250. It can rip 4 by 8 pieces of wood. So I really had no issues with it at all. I'm really happy with it. So check it out if you want to get one for yourself, or just have the guy at Home Depot do it. Just keep in mind the cuts aren't going to really come out that good. So I was getting fed up with that. And I'm going to post a picture of all the dimensions so you guys can see, you know, what dimensions you need for the tops, the sides, the back, and for the tracks, to take all the questions out of that. Alright, and this I just made out of, I think, 2x3s. So I didn't have a workbench, so like I said, I'm kind of budget. So I just built this up just to keep the melamine on it when I'm drilling and everything. Works good, simple, so you can just build yourself one of these if you want, or just use a workbench or a table. So once your wood's cut, you're going to need a drill, and then you're going to want a number 8 drill bit with a countersink on it. So this piece around here is the countersink. So basically it's going to drill a hole and then bore out a little piece so that when that screw catches and cinches down, it doesn't crack the melamine on the outside. If you crack it, it's not the end of the world. It's just not going to look, you know, pleasing to the eye. So not a necessity, but I like to use it. And then you're going to want to buy number 8 1.5 inch screws. So for the majority of the drilling, we're going to use this and these screws. So all you need is 100 of them. I think it's like 10 bucks. You can buy it at Home Depot. Alright guys, so I broke my countersink, so we're just going to do this the old school way. I just got a drill bit here. I'm going to drill all the holes first, and then I'm going to bore them out with the part of the countersink that broke. Still going to work and do the same job. So sometimes you just have to adapt. Alright, so you want it, since this is 3/4 inch melamine, you want to make sure your holes are going to be like right in the middle of it. So you can eyeball it or mark it. I'm lazy, so I'm just going to eyeball it. And I've done this a bunch of times, so I know what I'm doing. Alright guys, so once you have your holes drilled here, if your drill bit didn't break like mine, see how it broke? So here's the countersink part. I can still countersink these holes, which will bore it out. So I'm just going to show you guys drilling one side and countersinking it. If I show you every time, it's just going to make the video too long. It's not necessary. There's not much to it. So this is going to be the bottom piece of the wood right here. I mean the bottom piece of the tank, and then I'm going to put, just to show you, I'm going to put, this is going to be the side of the tank right here. So as you can see, so here we go. That's it, just a little bit. If it chips a little bit, oh well. It's a Raptor Reptiles Mondo tank. I'm not selling them, they're mine. And that's that. So this is going to be the outside of the tank, is where you drill that. So I'm going to have to flip this. I'm just going to do the other side, and then I'll show you guys screwing it in one side, just in case you're new to it and you're trying it for the first time, you have a better idea. Alright, so my recommendation is, like I said, either use the countersink with the drill bit, or drill bit everything and then go back and countersink everything. So I just did the back, so I don't have to just keep switching. It's gonna go faster. I've learned from experience on how to do it. So all my holes are pre-drilled already, just to show you guys. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. The lizards don't know. I think it's good enough. And now I'm just gonna assemble it, and then I'll show you guys once I have the screws in, or I'll do one side so you guys can see, but it's literally just doing a screw. So for all my Raptor Reptiles first timers, this is how you put a screw in. So you have your Phillips head here, line it up, hold it at the base here. So I recommend doing the outsides first. So you line it up, get it where you want it so it's perfect, and then you come back and you do the interior holes. So you put it into your pre-drilled hole, put it on the tight option, and then slowly work it in, and then hold the top of it. And you don't have to go fast, you don't want to strip out the screw head. And then see how that cinched down there? It went inside of the bored out hole, which was what the countersink's for. So you get a really, so it's tight. So once this is made, it's gonna basically be bulletproof. You want it really sturdy so you can stack them and everything. So that's my recommendation to you guys. 1.5 inch number 8 screws. So I hope that kind of helped you guys out if it's your first time, but I'm not gonna cut every time and show me drilling every hole. Like I said, it's gonna drag the video on. You do every single one the same, every piece of wood. So should be self-explanatory since I showed you that bottom part. After I get each side on, I'll show it to you so you can visually see it, make it easier. Alright guys, so I know I said I'd done this a bunch of times, but I forgot to drill the holes for the front. So don't forget that, because it was a pain in the ass. I had to go sit on the floor, drill them up, and then countersink them because it was already flipped. So don't forget to do the hole around the whole bottom of the tank. And then this is what I learned too from experience. Do the back, the side, the front, and then put the last one is going to be the other side, and then you're gonna screw them all together. This way, if you did the sides first and you're trying to get this piece in and it's not perfect, you have to shove it in, and it's just a pain in the ass. So just some words of wisdom right there. Alright guys, so the Raptor Reptiles Mondo tank is coming together nicely. So I put the top in here. This is going to be for the glass. This is going to be for the glass here. So it's coming together. All we have left is the top. So this is just how I screwed it into the side. Only needs one screw because the top and bottom is going to be screwed into those pieces. And I just did 4 down here. Make sure, you know, it's really reinforced. Same thing on this side. but yeah, it's coming together. So on the top piece of, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna show you how to put the UVB light on and the heat light, because you want to put those in first before you put the top on. And you also want to grab your hole saw right about now. So I'll go over the hole saw setup and how we're gonna drill the vents in here. So we're gonna drill 2 4-inch holes, one here, and then I think it's a 1 1/4-inch hole here, so that the wires can go out of the tank. So stand by for that. Let me grab all that and I'll show it to you guys. Alright guys, so it's actually a 1 1/2 hole saw I use for the wires. So I bought this one, I think at Lowe's, this company Spider. So far you can tell it's got a little wear on it, but it really does the trick. So there is one thing I'm going to say: when you use a hole saw here, you have to be very careful, because this drill is powerful. So if you don't, before you drill, you really want to line it up here, and you want to support your wrist and the base of the drill, because if you don't support it and you go to drill, this thing can twist your wrist and you can actually hurt it. So make sure you reinforce it with 2 hands, or you could push from the back, whatever is going to be easier. So just be careful when you're doing this, because you actually could get hurt if you don't do it right. So we'll start with this small hole and then we'll work up to the bigger ones. Alright, and also when I was drilling this, have somebody back here kind of keeping pressure and keeping it stable. So that's where the hole was. Boom, perfect circle, 1 1/2-inch diameter. Then we're gonna do the 2 4-inch vents in the back, and we're done. So it's hard for me to video it and show you of me actually doing it, but you guys can figure that out. Alright guys, so now we got the Mondo 4-inch on right here. So same thing, Spider, same technique. You can measure it out to make it perfect, but I'm not going to go ahead and do all that. So what do you think right here?
That should be good.
Yeah, doesn't matter, not too perfect. Alright, and done. So you just kind of want to go smooth, little bursts. If you could do it full throttle, you can, but that worked good for me. And then just so you guys can see, these vents will fit perfect, so any scuff mark here, it's not going to do anything. So should be good to go. Alright, so now we got the UVB installed. These are T5. This is a 22-inch T5. It's going to take bulb, so perfect, nice reflector, definitely big enough for the tank. So it went on smooth. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add the ceramic heat light over here. Ceramic or porcelain, I can't remember. But we're gonna put that here, and then we're gonna put the top on, and then all we have to do is the tracks in the glass and caulk it. We're done. Alright guys, so now the porcelain heat lamp is on. Just put think I did 1 1/4 inch screws to get those in there. It's sturdy, make sure it's sturdy because it's heavy. And then you're just gonna have to wire this. If you buy the same one I have, just buy a 6-foot extension cord, snip off the end, crimp it, and then just put it around the connections. So that's done, and then the UVB is done. So make sure both of the cords are near each other so that you can fit it out that 1 1/2 inch hole that we made. I'll show you once I put the top on. So let's do that, and I'll show you once it's all put together. Alright guys, so that's all she wrote for right here. So this is basically, I guess you could consider this the most difficult part. So everything's together where it needs to be. The next part is we're gonna add the tracks on the bottom and the top, and then we're gonna add the vents in the back. We're gonna caulk around the edges here, and we'll just add the glass, and that's it. And then you got yourself a Raptor Reptiles Mondo tank. So not too difficult. You know, there's a couple imperfections on it, but like I said, it's mine. I'm not selling them, and they're for, you know, lizards. They don't notice that stuff. So I think it came out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So I'm gonna build one more. I think we're ready for this season, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so ended up getting kind of busy while we were building all these tanks, but this is a prototype right here. So this is a 4 by 2 by 18. So this is going to be my new custom enclosure. I'm testing it out, it's a prototype, but I'm going to be keeping all my juveniles and babies from this current breeding season. So you can tell there's a couple different modifications here. So I did two vents in the backboard. I also did 1 vent on each side to give it extra ventilation since it is bigger. I also added a 36-inch T5 fixture, and that's got the Arcadia bulb in it. And then I added a 45-watt indoor floodlight. If I need to upgrade it to 65-watt, I will. And then I had these lying around, so I just added 2 little Zilla rocks on each corner so they can kind of either hide under it or bask on it. Just standard newspaper. Now, so the main stuff you guys didn't get to see, and I'm sorry I got so busy when I started the video, but I added the tracks. So these are the I think they're called Nape and Vought. You can buy them on Amazon. They're for 1/4 inch thick glass, so remember that. So basically you add the thicker one on the bottom, and then here's the top. It's thinner. And then what I did though is I'm not going to give you the exact measurements for the glass, because if you're 3-inch and 2-inch cut, wood here is not exact. It's not going to fit. So you're going to have to figure that out on your own. So basically I found a nice little custom glass place near me. Stopped in there, I said, hey, these are my measurements, can you make it for me? I think he did a pretty good job. He didn't polish the sides on these, but he did sand them down so I can't get cut and the lizards can't get hurt. So, and then he also gave me these. He said, hey, try these out. I got these in. They're like the 3M. They're just basically like sliders. So you can see they slide a lot easier now instead of putting all your fingerprints on. So I thought that was a nice little touch here. But basically here, another thing is I did have the glass overlap about 1 inch. So when you guys find your measurements, I would do 1 inch overlap at the minimum. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. This is the prototype. So when we started off, we had the 3 by 2 by 18. This is the 4 by 2 by 18, but same principle. And then also when you do install the glass, look up here. So remember, I drilled all these holes here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna undrill these. You're gonna take this piece out here, You're gonna put the bottom piece in, then you're gonna layer this on the top piece of glass, and then you're gonna push it up. Once it's aligned, then you're gonna screw it back in. So basically this glass here, people ask me, they don't come out easily. For me to get the glass out, I have to unscrew the top, which isn't that big of a deal. But really, they don't really mess it up that much. I can usually get around and clean the inside and the outside of the glass. So I think those were the finishing touches here. I'll probably do another video that will go over all the lighting, because I know people keep asking me for that. But I don't want to make this particular video too long. So yeah, came out great. I hope I can really help you guys out. It's pretty detailed, this video, so I think you guys should, if you're a little bit mechanically inclined, you should be able to do it. And then also, I'm not sleeping. I saw we got 1,000 subs, and I got some eggs hatching here. So these are the Scarlet and Salem babies. Are starting to hatch. As you can see, they're popping their heads out. Some haven't hatched yet. They're looking pretty good. I think you guys are going to be pumped. So Scarlet is a hypo leatherback, which obviously I see some trans in here, so she proved out 100% het trans. And Salem is a trans leatherback, 100% het hypo, 100% het wit. So we're gonna have a nice variety in here. We're definitely gonna be doing a giveaway. So my partner Tim Robinson, he's gonna be hitting up this giveaway here. So we're just hatching them out here, making sure they all good to go. This cute baby fought for a while, but he's good to go. I know he doesn't look good right now, he's just tired. He literally just got out the egg, so we're gonna let him rest. And this guy's out right here. He's looking pretty lively right now. So yeah, we'll let them incubate a little bit more. We don't want to disturb them too much, but yeah, we got a lot of great stuff coming ahead. So let me put these guys back, and then yeah, like your boy always says, as usual, stay tuned for more.